something new I will be trying. I am going to be trying my hand at banner reviews to try to give people my own personal insight on banners and maybe push people to pull if they're on the fence, or maybe to hold their orbs again if they're on the fence. So going straight into it, Lauren, she is definitely a great fodder unit. She has a great dagger, which was previously only available on seasonal dancers. She luckily comes with probably the most relevant of the versions, which is the dragon effectiveness. So it comes with the hardy bearing attached to it as well. So just going into that, it's already one of the best daggers, and if you're looking specifically for something that will enable you to counter vantage strats on your map, this is definitely one of the best daggers to put. Obviously, you probably don't want to use it on her. You probably put it on something like Kagero or Soth. But it does, if you're looking specifically for the one specific part to cinch your team, and it needs, you still want to use the dagger, but you also need a counter vantage, this is the dagger to go for. I don't think Disarm Trap is that relevant, and unfortunately you can't really get the highest level of Disarm Trap and the dagger at the same time. And I think in general, Disarm Trap 3 is probably best used on perhaps an air in very niche scenarios. I'm not talking about speed res scat because I feel as a whole that skill is pretty irrelevant and it won't really do much for you. Laram as a whole, I think she will be range dancer out of 10, and she's not worth pulling for herself. But she's great if you're looking to pull for a dagger, or if you're looking for niche strategies with her B skill. Okay, going on to Unit 2, Percival. I think he can basically be described as another addition to the Blue Lance Cav line. I think he is very good. His weapon has CD reduction, it has guard when initiating, but because it's only able to be used on units who have 100% health, it decreases his utility already. It means it's only going to be active about the first round of combat, and it makes it super hard to use him with chip damage teams. His skill set as a whole is very strong. It means he's going to be very good at initiating from very far away. He'll have a ton of defense, he'll have a ton of attack and speed, and he even buffs himself. That being said, again, I don't think he's worth pulling. If you're looking specifically for a skill fodder such as low attack speed, I think you can definitely wait for a better banner. He will most likely come back. It might be a while, but I don't think any of these skills will make a huge difference for your team. They're more of the cherry on the top of most defense teams. Unit as a whole, I think he'll be good, but he's not going to differentiate himself in a magnificent degree to any of the other available Blue Lances. I think as a whole, he is good the same way that Dimitri is good, the same way that the Camus ult was good, and the same way that probably the Blue Lance on the next banner will also be good. But as a whole, he is not worth trying to pull for specifically, and his fodder isn't worth pulling for specifically. Moving on right to probably the demo of the banner, I don't think she's got great fodder across the board. I think speed res Brazen is probably the most interesting, along with drive attack. We'll have to see which one they put on the 4-star. I'm betting the drive attack will actually be on the 5-star, and the Brazen will probably be on the 4-star. That said, she is already competing with a demote that we just recently got Ross on the 3-star, 4-star pool, so she has a lot to compete with on a min-max basis. She'll probably be very fast and very strong. I don't know how she's going to compete because we don't have stats, how she's going to compete against free-to-play units available such as Libra, now Ross, Hawkeye, etc. I have no doubt she'll be very good and very fast if she's anything like the games, but she's definitely not worth pulling for now, and she's a unit we'll have to see if she's worth merging as a 5-star plus 10 candidate in the future. I don't have a lot of strong opinions about her right now. Her skill kit would basically need to be gutted as a whole to make her really, really good. And her weapon isn't really that great either. I feel like you can use better variants than a plus defense version, unless she comes with a ridiculous 30 res stat and like 20 defense stat. Now, right on to probably the crowning achievement unit on this banner, Igreen. She is a fodder goldmine. She comes with Special Spiral, Pulse Smoke, Life and Death 4. I think as a whole, Life and Death 4 is probably the weakest of the tier 4 skills we've got so far. I feel like if it would have made it so the defense res loss was actually similar to like -4 or so, it would be viably good. But as a whole, you're losing so much defense in res, I don't know if it's really worth the trade-off unless you're specifically already just adding this as a tip-off point for something like Ophelia. This is a perfect Ophelia unit you can give to her because she can get Special Spiral and Life and Death 4 in one unit. As a whole, I think she is very good. She's got great fodder. As a unit, I think she would have done better as being colorless. So I think she's competing she's had to come with a really, really, really min-max stat line, something like 35, 38 baseline to really compete with other units. She's not going to be able to have neutral matchups across the board, something like Legendary Alm is able to, and something now that Luis and Rolf are able to do, who are also on horses. As a unit herself, her skill kit is great. I think she can trivialize most game content, but I don't think that's worth pulling for as a whole. She's not going to massively change your AR defense, she's not going to massively change your PvE content. So that said, I think I will pull for red for free pull, just because I do want Pulse Smoke, but I won't be pulling specifically for Pulse Smoke because the average on a 4 hero banner on a red is really, really crappy. It's something around the number range of 260 orbs on average for about a 50% rate. So it's not great, and you're gonna probably get a lot of pity breakers along the way because there's so many 5-star units in the 5-star red pool at this current moment. So my general opinion about this banner as a whole is it's a great fodder banner, specifically on the colorless and the red, and on some level of the blue. But I think if you are patient enough and you can wait it off, there will be a banner that will have the 3 colors, and it will save you much more orbs on average than Ryan trying to pull for them at this very moment. The units themselves, I feel, won't make any major changes to the game as a whole, and especially on the competitive level as a whole. The biggest change will probably come from Pulse Smoke being more available in the 5-star seasonal banners, I should say, sorry. So, again, I want to reiterate, pull at your own behest. I will actively say to hold unless you really need this one fodder to fix your team. Anyway, that's my general opinion. If you feel like you agree or disagree, feel free to let me know. And if you don't like this format or you feel you have different opinions on it, just let me know and I'll take that feedback into account. Alright, thanks and have a nice day. Bye bye.